All right, let's do some gentle yoga. We're going to start today sitting just for a moment, just to check in. So find a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. And we are going to work today with opening up through the hips. What does that mean? This line so you can see me a little better. Open through the hips. Sounds scary. For some of us, we have deep hips and the hip socket makes movement a little challenging. For some of us, opening is almost too flexible and causes instability. So we're going to work on the abdominal muscles and the back muscles in the context of the hips. You know, when your hips are out of alignment, you can have knee pain, you can have ankle and foot pain, you can even have shoulder pain. So take a moment to find what is your comfortable seat today. And it could very well be something like this, where your knees are bent out to the sides, your legs are in front of you, or you're sitting in a chair. Take a moment to feel the anatomy of your body, the physical body resting here, your feet or your hips sitting on the floor. Lengthen your spine a little bit to align your shoulders with your hips. Level your chin. Take a big breath in. Sigh it out and let it go. Another big breath in. This time hold it for a moment. And then slow down that exhalation. And do that one more time. Breathing in. Hold the breath there for a moment. Feel that sensation of fullness, inviting in your energy, your life force. And on the exhale, sigh it out slow and steady. Now just take a moment to watch your breath. Watch how the breath fills and empties the body. Begin to move your focus from any parts of the body that might feel tight or tired or disabled into a space of the breath that flows freely, unconditionally. Open your heart to your imperfections. Open your heart to your pain and discomfort. Open your heart to your fears. Open your heart to your biggest challenges. And in that opening, trust that you have all that you need to survive and thrive beyond it all, within it all. Give yourself permission to feel a little lighter even in the challenges, even in the discomfort. Now lean back on your hands and bring your knees out wide, feet on the floor. And lift your chest and just start to lengthen the spine. Let the head roll back a little bit and then tuck the chin. Head roll back and tuck. You may even start to feel those muscles on the back body moving along the spine as you raise and lower the chin. Stay connected to the breath. Try not to hang in the shoulders, bend the elbows a little, activate the muscles of the arms and squeeze the abdominal muscles in at the low belly, below the belly button to help support the spine as you arch back and raise and lower your chin. And then bring the chin to neutral. Slide your legs straight out and wide. Point your toes to the sky and sit up tall. Bring the arms out to the sides. Take a breath in. As you exhale, bend the elbows, hands to the elbows. If you'd like, let the forearms rest on the head or the palms rest on the head. Drop the shoulders away from the ear. Fold over to one side. Come back to the center and fold over to the other side. Position your arms in whatever way works for you. We're just opening through the side body, which can sometimes relieve tension in the hips and sometimes strengthen the support for the pelvis and ease the work of the hips and legs. Find the breath pattern here that works for you. So maybe it's breathing into the side so you feel the side ribs expand on that breath in. Or maybe it's breathing in and coming back to center. Notice where you engage your abdomen, where you engage those abdominal muscles. And where you engage the abdominal muscles most is where you need the exhale. And then reach your arms up high in the sky. Wiggle your fingers, roll your wrists. And let your arms come down by the sides. Turn the palms up if you'd like. Bring the back of the hands on the floor. Take a big breath in. Sigh it out and let it go. On your next exhale, plant your fingers next to your hips and fold yourself forward with a straight spine, helping to open up those hamstrings and the groin muscles a little bit here. Inhale, come up, and exhale, fold forward. Hinge at the hips. Keep the spine length tall, the chin level, as you just bounce a little bit forward and back. Now coming to sit up tall. On the next breath out, turn towards one foot. Give yourself that twist. Look at that foot. Look at that leg. And then point and flex the toes on the opposite leg. So as you're looking at that foot that's pointing to the sky, the other foot that's a little bit out of your periphery view is flexing and pointing. Now point those toes, keep that front foot in front of you flexed, and start to fold forward towards those flexed toes. Give yourself a little stretch towards the floor. Walk your hands back up as you breathe in and come down as you breathe out. Breathe in and come up. And breathe out and fold down. Notice what's there. If you're feeling any kind of impingement in the back of the knee or in the hip or in the low back, maybe even in between the shoulder blades, depending on where you carry your tightness and your troubles, breathe into those places and offer them some support from the breath. The next time you fold forward, a little bit more, lengthen your spine. And take a few breaths here. Hands can be supporting you on the floor. Fingers can be touching the toes, or your hands can be close in by your leg. Take a few breaths here. That outer leg pointing the toes, the one you're facing, the toes are flexed, looking up at the sky. Now walk your hands back as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, plant that foot on the floor and bend that knee. Turn straight ahead again. Pause here and take a few breaths. For some of us bending like this, there's not a lot of space, so you may want to slide the knee back a little bit to bring the belly forward. Play with the position of the hip. And then keep that foot planted there and turn towards the other leg. A bit of a twist. You can bring that same side arm to the inside of that leg and then flex that foot on the other leg. Take a breath in, and on the exhale, lean towards that foot. The spine is straight and long. There's no dropping of the shoulders or twisting of the spine. The ribs are twisting, the spine is straight. Just leaning forward. This is going to create some space in the sacrum and the low back. For those of you who have piriformis challenges, This could actually provide a good slacking on one side and stretching on the other. So taking just a few breaths here. Holding on to the leg or the floor or the foot. Breathe deeply, gently, softly into this space. And then slowly sit back up on your next breath in. And on the exhale, slide both legs out. Relax the feet, relax the legs. Take a big breath in. Sigh it out and say, ha. Take the shoulder blades in towards the spine and then out and wide and down. Make some big circles, helping to relieve the tension that might have stored up in little spots of the back or the front of the body before we go to the other side. And then let your shoulder blades drop down your back and take a moment to notice the two sides of the body. Notice the left side and the right side. Perhaps there's a different sensation in one side than the other. And then gradually turn to the other leg. Flex those toes. Point and flex the other toes. Hands on the floor. Reach yourself forward. Lean over that other leg, toes towards the sky, and flex and point the toes on the other foot. Breath slow and deep here. Give yourself the support through your breath. A few more breaths here. And then point those toes. Keep those toes pointed on that extended leg. The toes you're looking at are flexed. Inhale, come on up. Bend that knee of that leg you're leaning towards. And then exhale, place that foot on the floor. The side may be totally different. So play with that leg a little bit. Lift the hip, lower the hip, slide your extra blessings out of the way, and find a way to plant that leg on the floor. And then bring that same side arm to the inside of that leg somewhere. Hold on to the shin or the calf or the back of the knee or the ankle. Bring your hand under the thigh even, or to the floor. And then turn towards that other leg and flex those toes. Take a breath in, and on the exhale, fold towards those toes. So this leg that's bent is supporting you as much as the leg that's straight. The ribs are rotating, the spine is tall. The hands can come to the floor, or the arm can stay there and support the leg. Going towards that extended leg. Take a couple breaths. Push your belly button towards your thigh. And bring your chin in and back. Take a couple breaths here. This is a modified pigeon pose. And again, it's really nice space of work for the piriformis. It's a little bit different perspective too for the psoas muscles. And then inhale and come up. As you exhale, extend that leg out. Roll the shoulder blades a few times. Wide, down, up, around. Go in both directions, hollowing out the armpits. And then pause here. Take a big breath in. Sigh it out and let it go. Take a moment to notice. Gradually slide your legs together. Flex and point the toes. Sometimes these little movements, flexing and pointing of fingers or the toes, you can do your wrists too at the same time. Sometimes you can feel those down the center of the core. Sometimes you can feel them right up through the crown of the head. Our fascia is amazing, that lining that holds all our insides in and our outsides in. It's all connected. So wiggle the fingers and the toes, roll the joints of the wrists and the ankles, as if you're bringing a massage to the deepest muscles along your spine and in your hips. And then bring your arms out to the sides. Take a big breath in, reach up overhead. As you breathe out, bring your hands back behind you. Bend your knees once more, feet wide, and let your knees just fall side to side. And creating a little twisting motion through the hips. The IAYT band, the glutes and hip flexors. We're going to do a little bit of work on our hands and knees, so if you prefer to be on blocks on your forearms or to sit in a chair, modify that way, feel free to do that. Gradually make your way either to sitting in a chair or on your hands and knees, or if you prefer, forearms on blocks. The elbows are aligned right under the shoulders. The knees are aligned right under the hips. You're going to bring one leg out and back. If you're sitting in a chair, start to stretch that leg out in front of you and then lift that leg. If you're sitting in a chair, you're going to lower your foot back down to the ground and bring it back out in front of you. If you're on your hands and knees, your knee is off the floor and you're flexing and extending your leg at the knee. Stay steady here, big breaths. We're stretching and slacking the muscles on the front and back of the thigh. Using those glutes. Sometimes the key to hip mobility is strengthening those glutes, so we're doing a little of that here too. And then let that leg stay extended out. Take 2 breaths here. Extend the leg out and hug all the muscles to the bones. Really feel that leg. On the exhale, bring the leg back to its resting state. Knee on the floor or foot on the floor. Take a big breath in. Let it go. If you're sitting in a chair, start to circle your torso around and out to the sides. If you're on your hands and knees, circle your hips out and around in big flowing circles. Go in one direction and then the other. And then come back to center. And again, if you're sitting on a chair, start to extend that leg out in front of you. If you're in table, you'll extend that leg behind you, take the knee off the floor. Lift the leg parallel to the back if you're on your hands and knees. If you're sitting in a chair, the leg is parallel to the floor. And then start to bend and straighten the leg, either in table or sitting in a chair. If you're sitting in the chair, try to keep the foot off the floor as you bend it. If you're on your hands and knees, squeeze in through your belly, lengthen your spine. Try not to collapse through the low back. Strengthening those leg muscles, strengthening the glutes, strengthening the abs. And the next time that leg extends out, hug all the muscles in towards the bones, leg nice and strong. 2 breaths in, 2 breaths out. And then gradually at the end of that second breath, bring that knee back down, rest that leg. Take a few circles of the hips or the torso. Go in both directions. And then coming back to center, Again, elbows right under shoulders. Your forearms can be on the floor on blocks. You can also be on your knuckles or sitting in a chair. If you're sitting in a chair, slide forward to the front edge of the chair. And let's flex and extend the spine, dropping the belly and the chest forward, opening the heart. As you exhale, squeeze the belly, lift the spine. Arch through the back of the body, all the way up to the crown of the head, tailbone to crown, inhaling, exhaling, flexion and extension. You know, so many times doctors will tell people, don't do yoga if you've got osteoporosis because you don't want to move your spine. Well, that's not true. You want to move your spine using the muscles, not the bones. So if you create all this beautiful space for your spine to flow, then you're going to make it stable, more strong, more able to stay safe through your movements. So imagine every vertebrae floating softly in a space of protected tissue and muscles. No bone needing to touch another bone, no bone feeling crowded. All the way up through the neck, every vertebrae. Feel the throat open, the back of the neck open. Engage those muscles above and underneath the shoulder blades to really create some mobility through the middle of the spine. Do that one more time and then come to a neutral spine and either extend your arms out in front of you on the floor, or if you're in a chair, place your hands on your knees and fold your body forward, coming into puppy pose or child's pose. Hips stay right in line with the knees. The belly comes towards the thighs or towards the floor. Take a big breath in here. Sigh it out. Let it go. A moment to feel into your body. A moment. Feel into the space of your heart. And take that divine heart energy and circulate it to any part of your body that's feeling tired. Sad, discomfort, pain, challenge. Through your loving kindness through your whole body now. Slowly start to bring yourself down onto your belly. As you come onto your belly, feel free to bring a blanket under the hips to bring a little bit more leverage to the hips, a little more room for your belly on the floor. Bring your elbows right under your shoulders and your palms to the floor. Press your fingers into the floor and lengthen your spine. Rock yourself a little side to side. Feel your hips rocking against the earth. Feel the pubic bone supporting you. And then push your tailbone towards your heels. Bring your chin in and the back of the head towards the wall behind you. Begin to slide the shoulder blades down the back ribs and towards each other. Lengthen from the tailbone to the crown of the head. No space of the spine plate. Open and free. Feel your chest widen. Feel your collarbones widen. Take 3 breaths here in Sphinx pose. At the end of the 3rd breath, take one arm and extend it out and stretch towards your fingers on that one side of the body. And then bring that arm back. Settle that arm and then stretch the other arm. And come back. And do that a few times. We're helping to release some of the muscles that attach to the back of the hips or spine and the lower spine. So even though this feels like a side stretch, the lats run from your hip ridge all the way up and connect to the back of your ribs. And these lats can sometimes get us off balance. So you may feel a stretch all the way up through your shoulder, going one side and the other. There's also these muscles that run right along your spine, the erector spinae, quadratus levorum. They tend to upset the balance of your sacrum. They tend to irritate that piriformis. So just taking a few more stretches here to really stretch through the low back. See if you can lift your belly up a little bit and find that stretch through your low back. And then coming back, gradually lower yourself down to the floor. Put your head in a position where your forehead is supported or your head is turned to the side. And take a few breaths here. Feel the connection of your heart to the earth. For some of us, laying on our bellies may not feel as comfortable or as natural. But sometimes it's super important to provide the space on the back body, to provide the support on the front body. Bring your forehead, chin, lips, or nose to the mat. Bend your knees and just let your legs wiper side to side. Let the inside arch of one foot go along the calf of the other leg, massaging the kidney lines, helping to move the energy that might get bogged down in fear. And let your legs come down and rest on the floor. Take a big breath in, sigh it out, and let it go, and just notice your body. Roll over on one side. Throw your arm under your head or bring a block or blanket under your head for support. Stack your knees and your hips. Keep your feet together and just open and close the knees a few times. If you'd like, bring that hand on the top side of the body towards the hip. So you can feel those glutes working, feel that IT band working. And if you've got a lot of tightness in that hip, a little tension or limited mobility, massage as you go. Less movement, more stability. So if you find you're rocking to open your leg, keep your hips stacked and open less. Let this movement be so tiny that you feel it deep, deep inside. Every muscle gets the space to work. Instead of forcing a particular pose, feel the shape of the energy and work with that. You might feel it in the front of your thigh if you do less, and that might be good for your knee. Do that 2 more times, and then pause there. Notice. If you'd like, give a little massage to the glutes, to the front of the hip, to your belly. And then roll over onto the other side. As you come onto the other side, take a moment to support the head, stack the knees. And again, keeping the feet together, lift that knee and lower that knee. Squeeze your belly in as the knee lifts up. Stabilize the torso. Stabilize the shoulders and the hips. And again, this side might be completely different. This side might have a lot of mobility or less. And bring a hand to that outside hip if you'd like to give a little support to those working muscles. You can feel them. And again, pause here and really go inside. See if you can find all the muscles there and let all of them work equally. Maybe a very tiny movement. Doing great. do 5 more of those. Whatever way works for you. Into that 5th one or wherever it is. Massage that hip a little, the buttocks, the hip flexors. And then roll onto your back. Roll onto your back, bend your knees, place your feet on the floor, arms by your sides. Take a big breath in, sigh it out, let it go. Play with your shoulder blades a little and slide them under the ribs so that they're nice and tucked in and flat. The ribs are supported by the earth and there's a nice little curve of your low back. Press into the soles of your feet. Pull your heels towards your hips. Stack your pubic bone right over your tailbone. Take 2 breaths here. Slide the arms in slowly by your sides, palms down next to your hips. Take a breath in, and on the exhale, squeeze your belly in and lift your hips off the floor in a bridge pose. Breathe in and bring the hips back down, nice and steady. Breathe out, squeeze the belly in and lift. Flow your body on your breath. No need to go to a certain height or a certain position. Move energetically through the hips, through the legs, and through the chest, and arms, and head. Let the whole body be part of this experience. Noticing sensations outside of those muscles that may be tired, spaces that may have pain. Feel the whole body engaging here, even down to the tips of the toes, the eyelashes, the nose, tailbone. And lower yourself down gradually to the floor with the next breath. Relax and let it all go. Pause here and take a few minutes. An even deeper breath. Take one leg, lift it towards the sky. Point the toes towards the sky and gently pull that leg a little bit towards your chest. Point and flex the toes and roll the foot at the ankle. Snap, crackle, pop. And then bend that knee into your chest. Bring your hands around the shin or the back of the thigh. Flex the foot to protect the knee and keep the knee aligned with the chest and the outer edge of the armpit, of the torso where the armpit is. Take the other leg, stretch it out and point those toes. Raise and lower that leg as quickly as you can on your breath. This sometimes can help set the femur bone back into the hip socket. So if you have some instability in the ligaments and tendons, or if you have some arthritis in that hip, sometimes the funky parts can get the femur bone really out of position. So lift and lower that leg just very swiftly but safely to invite a realignment. And then take that leg all the way up to the sky. Flex the foot, point the foot. Bring that foot back down onto the floor. Release the other foot back down onto the floor. Take a big breath in, sigh it out, and let it go. Pause here and notice. Level the chin, perhaps even tucking it just a little bit. Notice your shoulder blades. Bring the shoulders away from the ears and feel the little curve of the low back. And then lift the other leg up. Take your hands to the leg and bring it a little bit closer in towards your chest. And flex and point the toes and then roll the foot in circles. Roll the ankle in both directions. And then bend that knee, bring it into the chest. Flex that foot so that it's protecting the curve of the knee and bring the knee right along the edge of the arm. Hands are on the shin or the back of the thigh. Take the other leg, extend it out and point those toes. Raise and lower that leg as quickly as is comfortable and safe for you, knowing that the goal here is to unstick that femur bone, to realign it in the hip socket, to realign the ligaments and tendons. For some of us with sciatica, this movement may be able to bring some relief to the nerves there in that hip joint. Just raising and lowering. Couple more times. And take that leg up, flex and point the toes. Flex and then bring that foot down. Release the other leg. Leave the feet here, arms by your sides. Take a big breath in. And let it go. Ah. Roll over to one side. Bring your arms stacked on top of each other, knees on top of each other. And then open the knees, open the arms, and unfold your body. And then fold over to the other side. You're opening and closing pages of a book. Just going side to side. Let that other arm drag across your body if that feels really good. Keep the chin tucked so that you're not overextending through the neck. So your low back is supported. And you roll side to side. Make sure that the hips aren't rocking forward and back on the hip bridge. Keep the hips solid. Shoulders aligned and stacked. So you're not putting any pressure on the spine and the low back. Take a few more breaths to go side to side and play with this movement. Gradually roll back onto your back. Bring your feet on the floor. Take a big breath in. Sigh it out and let it go. Open your hands. Widen the fingers. And let go of all of your burdens. Let go of all that you're holding on to. Use your hands as a space to let go of any grasping in the body. Sometimes where we have discomfort or imbalance or pain, other parts of the body hold on to try to protect it. Give it permission right now in the support of this pose, in the space of this room, of this moment, to just for a moment, let go of all the grasping. Let go of the fear around what the movement that comes after this is going to feel like. Let go of the tightness, uncertainty. Open your fingers. let it all go away. For the next 5 breaths, allow yourself to fully release it all. At the end of that 5th breath, or whenever it feels good to you, feel back into your body. Keep your feet off the floor, your hands to your knees. Press your hips into the floor, straight down. Relax your shoulders into the floor, straight down. In this position, the heart and lungs have expanded space to do their work. Breathe fully and deeply into the space of your heart and lungs, into your torso. Feel it expand with every breath in and soften with every breath out. The next time you exhale, bring the knees into the chest a little bit and then out to the sides and around in circles. Keeping the hips and shoulders on the floor, it might feel nice for the knees to go out in opposite directions, or maybe you want them to come together and roll side to side for more of a twisting movement. Make this movement so that breath and the body are aligned and flowing together. Make it almost like a massage. So if you are feeling a struggle or a tightness somewhere, find a way to shift the hips or the arms or the legs so that you can feel support through the movement. And then change the direction of the opposite way. Into the chest, and if it feels good, wrap your arms around your shins or your thighs and rock yourself side to side. Press your low back into the floor and massage the low back if you're rocking. Come back to center. Bring the feet back to the floor for a moment. Walk your feet wide to the edges of your mat and let your knees touch. Bring your arms out to the sides, palms up. Adjust your shoulder blades along your back ribs, shoulders dropping away from the ears. Turn your head so that your ear goes to one side, to the floor. Pause here and take a few breaths as you slack the inner side of the neck and stretch the outer side. Take 2 more breaths in this position. Embody it energetically, not just structure. Gradually bring the head back to center. turn the other ear towards the floor. Take several breaths here. Feel energetically into the space of this position. Slowly move your head back to center. Bring your hands to the base of your skull where your head meets your neck. Lift your head a little bit, interlace your fingers at the base of the skull, and pull the head ever so gently away from the shoulders. Hold and cradle the head and turn it a little side to side. Level the chin and then place your head down on the floor. Roll your shoulder blades flat on your back underneath. Let your shoulders go towards your ears and then down towards the floor. And then your arms come to rest by your sides. Walk your feet together. Shift your hips a little. Notice what your body needs and slide the legs out on the floor to do a little scan. Notice if the knees need to be supported or the low back or the neck. Notice if you'd like to cover up with a blanket or perhaps you'd like to rest your body right here as it is. Beginning with the toes and the soles of the feet. Let go of your efforting. Relax the muscles on the feet, the ankles. As you exhale, feel the feet soften and melt into the earth. Let go of any doing through the lower legs, the knees, the upper legs. Imagine a rubber band around your hips and taking that rubber band off and the hips melting out to the sides of your mat. Your belly soft. Relaxed. Ribs expanding gently outward with every breath in and relaxing and sinking into the earth with every breath out. Shoulders melting, the arms melting. Hands and fingers letting go. Whole body letting go. Neck and head soft, melting. Releasing the physical body, diving into the unending, blissful abyss of your true nature, of the energetic space of you. Rest here. Rest here. Slowly and ever so gently. In that soft space of awareness, feel the breath. And in the space of non-grasping, of a parigraha, open yourself back into your physical state. Greater freedom and ease, bring the breath back into the body. Feel the body being breathed. Allow yourself to remain attachment-free in the thoughts and the feelings that are coming back to the surface, and the sensations and the perspective you so readily take on. Practice of parigraha for the next few moments as the co-creator of your experience. Feeling the ever-flowing stream of appreciation and learning that comes every new sensation, every new challenge, every new experience. Finding the beauty in all of it revealed as you hold it lightly. That is the key. Gradually bring yourself up to a seated position, holding your body lightly in the support of the earth, holding your body lightly in the space of the sky. If you'd like, bring the hands together, cupped lightly, pinkies touching, thumbs along the fingers, in front of your heart. Relax your shoulders and open your heart as you hold your hands out here in this gesture of offering, in this trusting space of a parigraha. Holding all of life's gifts more lightly, we journey with greater freedom and ease. Holding all of life's gifts more lightly, I journey with greater freedom and ease. Wishing you the greatest and freest of journeys.